This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Brandon's in Indianapolis. Hey, Brandon, what's up?
Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
Sure. How can I help?
I worked my way up in a company here in Indianapolis from the bottom, and I got to a real good high-paying position. I did your steps. I went through to baby step 7. We were in a great position. I was getting ready to invest in possibly some rentals on the side, and then I was laid off. And I need to know if I'm in a position to possibly do this and make this my dream. I wanted to work for myself for a while and kind of get out of the corporate world, or if I'm dreaming and I just stay in the corporate world. I've turned down 2 jobs so far, and I'm really not sure what to do.
What were you making?
$350,000.
Okay. Can you make that again?
No, I won't make that much immediately, no, but the potential is there in a few years.
But you can land on $250,000, easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing you want to measure against is, okay, if I do real estate and I make $100,000, I've lost $150,000.
Okay.
So if we're going to do real estate, we got to make $250,000, or we got to see a way to do that fairly quickly. I don't mind taking a step back as long as I can get back to where we are. But if you think, okay, I'm going to do flips and I can make $100,000 a year, and that's all I'll ever make, I wouldn't do that. No, I'd do flips and go get a job, because there's $250,000 on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you worth is what it amounts to. And so how can we get the most value out of you without you losing your soul, of course, in the process? We're not doing that. But point being, if you can do something you like with a good, strong company, make $250,000. But if you could do real estate and make $300,000, let's talk about doing that instead. Can you?
I don't know. I don't think I can immediately, no.
No, I mean, it wouldn't be immediately. What are you talking about doing? Investing and flipping, or what are you talking about?
Right now I've got about $600,000 cash.
Okay.
And my goal would be to obviously buy a couple and kind of get the ball rolling there. And I don't need a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to take a huge step back, but I would.
But I mean, if you bought 2 rentals, they're not going to throw off on $600,000. I mean, you're going to throw off $6,000 or $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
What were these offers you passed up?
Another high-paying position here in Indianapolis for a data and IT services, and then another company doing very similar job of what I was before.
Did you have an idea that you might want to do flips? Because you can make more on that than you can. The rentals are slow burn. They're a great investment, but they're a slow burn.
I would love to do flips. I don't know anybody. I don't have anyone to trust in the area to do them with me. I don't know a good contractor, and I don't know how to judge, repairs.
Yeah. Okay. Because I could take the $600 and see making $300 with it.
With doing flips.
Yeah, but you'd have to know what you're doing. You could also lose $300, but
that's I've heard so many horror stories.
There's a lot of
the other
them.
The other thing is obviously leave it in the market, but I've done that. I really kind of wanted to try to.
Yeah, but you can do all of that and still work, which means we've got $250,000 a year laying on the table. So my point is, if we're going to change careers, let's duplicate your income, not retire. You're not. How old are you?
41.
Yeah, you're not ready to retire. You're not ready to do nothing.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, and managing 2 rentals is far from a full-time job. You buy $200,000-$300,000 rentals, you put 2 tenants in there, and then what are you going to do? Go play golf every day? I mean, not a bad idea, I guess, but you can afford to do it. But I'm just thinking, what would I do if I was you? I would want to maximize my earning potential while heading towards the self-employment. So maybe you take the new job with the idea we're going to take 3 years of working on flips on the side and learn the flip business to where I can make really good money in the real estate business, and I'm going to move that way with some of this cash gradually with, getting contractors lined up, getting some people lined up that are in my corner that can mentor me on this, find some people that are actually successful that aren't doing it on TikTok, for God's sakes, but they're actually doing it. Okay, they're not just selling a weekend course to somebody for $3,000. That's not what I'm talking about. But you get in there and find somebody actually doing this stuff and learn how to do it. You can make a transition in the real estate business. There's real estate agents that sell real estate that make more than $300K.
Yeah,
I mean, you could go that way.
What would your ideal starter property be? I mean, if you what would you say is the appropriate amount to kind of do my first one?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to buy at 70% of value minus repairs, and you can expect to net 13% on that formula.
Okay.
Because when you list a property at 100% of value, it never brings that. It always brings 96% of value or thereabouts or less. And then you're going to give up closing costs. You're going to give up some points to commissions, and you're going to net walking away about 88% if you're lucky. Okay, and so that means you're making 13 to 18% on your money. But if you do that 3 or 4 times a year, that starts to sound like 40 or 50% on your money, right?
Yeah.
And so that's per deal. That's not per annum, per annual. So, but that's the kind of, and what are you looking for? Needle in a haystack. But that's the formula that flips really work on. That's what I've done 2,000 of them. So that actually does work.
And then if he was just looking at an investment property to rent, what would the formula be for that?
Well, you're not going to get to $300K off of $600K.
He's looking at more like a few grand a month.
I'm trying to figure out a way he gets in the real estate business and makes
That's the long-term
makes
play.
$200,000 or $300,000 a year doing something in the real estate business. So it's probably going to move into that gradually while taking the $250,000 job.
I like the idea of taking the $250,000 job and using that to fund his real estate ventures.
Yeah.
That's the move until it spins off enough money.
And go ahead and start doing them as your side job. Start going, okay, I'm going to do flips as a side. I mean, you can do 3 or 4 flips as a side job without a trouble in a year, and you make some money and learn the business, and then you're not just throwing $600K against the wall and hope it sticks, which is what these people on the social media crap do. But I'm talking about people that actually really do this. Now, I will tell you, folks, I'll remind you, okay, we looked at, on average, I kept our averages real close. It was close to 200 properties we looked at to buy one.
Wow. Most people aren't willing to put in that level of work.
Well, and that's why they lose money, because your money on a flip is made when you buy it. You got instant equity. You just got to play it through. You got to get the paint job done and the roof changed and the kitchen gutted, and then put the thing back on the market as quickly as possible so the money turns as fast as possible. And then you've got to hold to your price, and you pay cash for it, so you're not got some banker looking in your ear hole telling you what to do, because bankers are idiots. So that's the last person you want running your business, believe me. And so, all of that, you're paying cash for it. So you buy a $200,000 property, you're buying it at $140, it needs 20 repairs, which means I'm buying it at $120, put the 20 in it, now I got $140 in it. I'm going to make 10 to 18% on that on average when I roll that money over. But you're looking forever to find that deal. This is slow. It's a full time. I mean, this is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. But I think you can do some on the side and begin to get your foot in the water. In the meantime, go back to making some good money. You're only 40 years old.